Howdy chappies, always good to see you. Today's session will be about some collocations, and as we said earlier in a previous episode or a previous video, a collocation is a group of words, most probably it's just two words, which go together as a package. So words which go together, which are used together as a package, we call them collocations, and they are extremely common in English, and they are a necessity, they are a must. They are a must-learn thing for you in order to be able to have English that's appealing to native speakers and that sounds natural and authentic to them. So I'm gonna go through some important collocations in today's session. If you give someone a lift, lift is spelled L-I-F-T. If you give somebody a lift, that's in British English, and in American English it's to give somebody a ride. This means that you take them for free to a certain place using your car. So you have a vehicle, you have a car, you have even a motorbike, you have even a bike, a bicycle, and you take that person from point A to point B. You offer them to take them to point B from point A using your vehicle and for free. This means that you give them a lift in British English or give them a ride in American English. For example, after giving Mark a lift to the airport, Kathy made her way home. After giving Mark a lift, which means a ride, to the airport, Kathy made her way home. That's the first collocation. A second collocation is talking about jealousy. If you are jealous of someone, this means that you are feeling annoyed because they have something that you don't have. Jealous is an adjective and it collocates with the adverb desperately. Desperately. So, when you say that, for example, Robert feels desperately jealous of Anne, Robert feels desperately jealous of Anne. This means that he's extremely jealous of her. She has a thing or some things that he would love to have, but he doesn't, and that's why he's desperately jealous of her. The third collocation is ease the pain. If you have some headache, for instance, and you take an analgesic or a painkiller in order to make the pain easier, make the pain calmer, make the pain tolerable, we say that this painkiller, this medicine or this med, eases the pain. A more formal alternative to the verb ease here is to alleviate the pain. Alleviate the pain. Alleviate is a formal term or a formal word which is spelled A-L-L-E-V-I-A-T-E. So if the painkiller or the pill or the tablet eases your pain, this means that it makes it easier, it makes it calmer, it makes it less strong. And when you take a painkiller to alleviate or to ease the pain, this means that you have a sharp pain, and that's collocation number 4. So if you describe a certain ache or a certain pain as being sharp, S-H-A-R-P, it means that this pain is very strong, that you cannot tolerate it, you cannot handle it, you cannot stand it. And the fact of the matter is the adjective sharp collocates with many nouns. So just like saying a sharp pain, you can say a sharp bend or a sharp turn in a road. If you are driving your car and there is a sharp bend or a sharp turn in the road, this means that it's very, very curvy. The bend or the twist in the road is very curvy, so you've got to slow down your vehicle in order not to have an accident, God forbid. So you can say a sharp pain, you can say a sharp bend or a sharp turn, And if there is a huge difference between two people or between two things, you say that there is a sharp difference or a sharp contrast or a sharp distinction between them. This means that the difference or the distinction or the contrast between them is vast, is huge, is very large. And you can also use the adjective sharp with the words rise, increase, or drop. If there is a sharp increase in something, or if there is a sharp rise in something, or on the other hand, if there is a sharp decline or a sharp drop or a sharp decrease in something, this means again huge, very large, or substantial. Substantial is some sort of a formal word, a formal adjective, which means extremely large or extremely big. And the last collocation, which I'd like to finish my session, my brief and concise session with today, is the collocation learn something the hard way. Learn something the hard way. So we live our lives learning all the time. We keep learning as we live. Sometimes you learn things easily, but some other times you have to pay a price. There's a cost that you have to bear in order to learn that thing. So if there is a cost, or if there is a price or if there is a certain loss that you had to encounter in order to learn something, we say that you learned that thing the hard way, right? So the collocation or the expression here is to learn something the hard way, meaning that it took you a lot of cost, or there was a huge loss that you had to bear, that you had to encounter or to suffer from for you to be able to learn that thing. So to recapitulate briefly, or to recap briefly on what we have said regarding the collocations highlighted in this session, we talked about give somebody a lift in British English, which is in American English to give them a ride. We talked about desperately jealous. Desperately jealous. We talked about ease the pain, which is synonymous to alleviate the pain, but alleviate is more formal. We talked about some of the nouns which collocate with the adjective sharp, like sharp, pain, sharp, bend or turn, sharp, difference or distinction or contrast, sharp, rise or increase, drop or decline or decrease. And we finished off our session with the collocation to learn something the hard way, which means that you learn something by going through a difficult experience. As ever, I thank you for your attentive listening, and I hope you enjoyed our session today. I look forward to our next session. Enjoy the rest of your day, and goodbye, my friends.